Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Community Services Committee meeting. I am Chair Councillor Chris Thiessen, here to serve for you in this meeting. With me is Councillors Wendy Bosch, Councillor Grant Berg, and online the great and glorious Mayor Jackie Clayton. With that all being said, we have no delegations today, so we'll just jump right into it. And first things first, I'll hand things over to our, I don't want to say rookie, but he's kind of new here, to our Director of Community Services, Mr. Dan Lemieux, for the Director's Service Area Report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I have a number of updates for you, starting with the Community Knowledge Campus and at the Eastlink Center. I have some good news with regards to memberships. Or membership have increased by 11% and members have increased by 18% between the period of June 30th and September 12th. So that's really good news. So I really commend the effort of some of our, all of our staff at the Eastlink Center. Our Junior Lifeguard Club is starting on September 24th. That's for youths ages 7 to 14 who are passionate about swimming and interested in becoming lifeguards. So that's part of our succession planning and making sure that we continue to recruit lifeguards. With regards to the Aqua outdoor pool, so they sponsored a free community swim on September the 1st, and we had 228 people in attendance. So the seasonal shutdown of that facility has begun with our facilities maintenance people, and in total for the 2022 season we had over 25,000 participants at that pool. So a good number, and we're looking forward to increasing that number into the future. On the events and entertainment side, the Hanson Lincoln has signed a 5-year naming agreement with the for the outdoor turf field at the Community Knowledge Campus. So that field is now known as the Hanson Lincoln Field. So we're really pleased with that partnership. The Offspring concert was announced at the Bonnett's Energy Center, and the show will be held on November 22nd. From facilities, the sound attenuation consultant reports has been completed for the Eastlink Center and the Activity Center. We'll be reviewing the recommendations with the site operational staff, so stay tuned for more to come on that. And facilities that started the seasonal building shutdown for the winter season. Everything's business as usual in the fleet department, nothing to report there. On the sports development, wellness, and culture front, with regards to Alberta Day, we celebrated Alberta Day on September 3rd. It's estimated that 332 residents took advantage of the free public swim at the Eastlink Center, and then 945 hamburgers or hot dogs were distributed at the community barbecue at the Bonnett's Energy Center. So a huge shout out to Better Than Fred's, who provided the cooks for that event. And after the barbecue, the Grande Prairie Storm entertained skate with the team, and 200 skaters took part in that event. On the programming side, the Girls Zone took place on September the 10th with 53 participants. This event is an activity-based day for girls aged 10 to 15 to encourage gender equality in sports and recreation. So we're pleased with that program. And Neighborhood Day, so residents are invited to celebrate Neighborhood Day with free activities taking place at the Activity and Reception Center on September 17th from 3 to 5 p.m. So communities are also encouraged to host community activities in their own neighborhood, so in celebration of Neighborhood Day. On the transit side, yesterday and today we have representatives from VIA, which is our software service provider, to provide us with additional driver and dispatch training and to observe how the system is operating and to make sure that we work the bugs out of that software system. They'll also be doing some writing along with our drivers to ensure that they understand some of the issues and some of the training needs from our staff. And we've added a third on-demand bus during the morning and afternoon peak service. And I attended on September 11th, so Sunday evening, we had a transit staff meeting so that we can get some input from our staff in terms of how things are doing, where are the pinch points, what are you hearing from our customers. And so although we have a software program that we think does a good job for us, it's never 100%. You need to listen to your customers. And so we certainly had an excellent meeting on Sunday evening with our staff to gather that input. That's my report, Mr. Chair. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Well, thank you for that, Director Lemieux. Looks like, wow, we just had a wave of hands go up. I didn't see Mike O'Connor's hand go up over the laptop, so I'll hand it over to Councillor Gramberg to open up questions.
Thank you. And it's actually not necessarily a question, but you'd mentioned Offspring concert was announced online. I see that there was another concert announced for December 3rd at the Bose, Boney M featuring Liz Mitchell, the original lead singer of Boney M. So that's one for an old guy like me, and looking actually forward to attending that one. Free sale on right now. Yeah, Kevin, you want to jump in and sing? No. Yeah. All right. Thank you. That was all I just wanted to add.
Okay, thank you very much. If we're adding stuff, I might as well add stuff too. Just a reminder to everybody that our great Grande Prairie Storm are having their season opener this Friday and Saturday at the Bonnets Energy Center. I got my season tickets and one extra ticket, so if any member of council wants to join me to cheer on the Storm, by all means. If not, it's open to the community. First come, first serve. Councillor Bressie.
Great, thank you. I appreciate I know that the transit redesign's been a lot of work, and I think the bones of it are very good, but still, just learning the new system for everybody is always a challenge. So really appreciate the work that went in to meet with drivers, and I continue to see staff on buses asking for it. You shared some of the work that's going on with on-demand and VIA and all that, but I'm also curious, fixed routes actually hitting schedules have been a big challenge. Is there any discussion yet about any tweaks that are going to be done to fixed routes, or how we're going to start making sure people are hitting their transfers on time?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I can report that that was a lot of discussion with the drivers, lots of really good ideas. So what we've committed to do is that as administration, we're going to take all of that feedback. Probably the biggest concern that I heard is the routes are a little bit tight and people are missing their transfers. That's the biggest issue. That's the biggest piece of information we've gathered from listening to our drivers and our customers. So yes, that's at the top of our list, and I'll be reporting back on that.
Great, awesome. And I also do want to continue to give a shout out to your drivers. I've been on the bus a lot lately, and I know that some of them are catching flack from customers. It's always stressful learning new things, but without exception, I've had great experiences with your drivers, and just really appreciate how they're leading this transition. So thank you to your staff.
Thank you, and Mr. Chair, if I may comment. So thank you for that comment. I agree with you. It was my first meeting with our drivers on Sunday evening. We have very passionate people that really care about their customers, and we need to continue to support them so they can continue to do a good job. It has been stressful. Any change is stressful for the customer and the drivers, and you're right, the drivers are getting feedback that isn't always positive at this time. So, but I will pass on your comments to our drivers. That'll mean a lot. Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Councillor Bressie, and that answer, Director Lemieux. Just a couple quick comments. I know Councillor Bressie has taken it upon himself to ride the transit as much as he possibly can to wrap his head around the redesign and any issues that he might see as it goes along. So thanks to Councillor Bressie for that. I know you're not going to toot your own horn. The other thing is a question for you, Director Lemieux. Of all the responses that have come from either our drivers or passengers, has anybody brought up like an express loop? Because I find, and I think this is my concern when we did the transit redesign, that some of our routes are just way too long, and especially as we get into the winter months, they're going to be longer from snow and ice and stops and starts and stuff like that. Has administration put any consideration, I know it's still early, but into doing an express loop?
So I'm not able to answer that question at this time. There wasn't a specific discussion about an express loop, but certainly I'll discuss that with the administration and see if we'll get an answer back to you in terms of whether that's part of the redesign. We've talked about needing to tweak the system, particularly, if our schedules are tight now, it's going to be even a bigger issue during the winter. So certainly that's a priority, but I'll get back to you on the express loop. For sure, and yeah, if you want a few more details of what I'm kind of thinking, I'm always open for that conversation. I appreciate that. All right, I got Councillor O'Connor, then Councillor Bosch.
Thank you, Chair Thiessen, and I want to pass on some compliments to the transit people. I, as well as Dylan Bressie, I've taken the bus on 4 different occasions, and the drivers are top-notch. They're thoughtful. I got on one bus thinking I was transferring to the right bus and realized I was transferring to the wrong bus. And I pulled out the map and went, oh dear, I'm on the wrong bus. The driver overheard me and he says, no problem, sir. I'm going to drop you off at Northwest Polytech, and number 3, the bus you want, is right behind me. And so very, very conscious, so kudos out to that. And I did hear the concern about the times are too tight and the transfers are, and I know that it's going to be handled by your staff, and I appreciate that. And the second one is had client call me or email me on the weekend. I passed it on to Stephanie Cajolet. Stephanie and her staff responded to that person immediately on the weekend, and I was blown away by how quick they come up with a solution. So I want to compliment the staff on how quickly they resolve an issue. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you yourself, Councillor O'Connor. I'll hand it over to Councillor Bosch.
Thank you, Chair Thiessen. Thank you for the report. My question, okay, first of all, Boney M, at Christmas time, I'm going. I have the tickets already. I could be old, I don't care what anybody says, but that's going to be freaking amazing. Okay, back to business. But the Town Center Mall heated shelters that we approved, I think there was 2. Do we have an ETA on when that work's going to be done?
I don't off the top of my head, but I'll get that to members of council right away.
Right. It's 23 degrees today, supposedly, but, you know, in short order, it's going to get cold. So, shush. It is what it is.
Hey, you're out of line.
Just a question on the capacity of the Aqua pool. You said 228 people were there that day. What is our capacity at that pool? I have no idea.
Again, I will get that number and circulate it to council.
Oh, it's just a curious question.
Good question.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Get her that number, Director Lemieux. I whispered my number. We'll see if I'm right. We'll go from there. Any further questions for Director Lemieux? Seeing none, thank you very much for the director's. Oh, sorry, I missed your hand.
Councillor, I did have a question.
I see you, Gladys. All right, shoot. Gladys Blackmore.
Just a quick question in regards to heated bus terminal stations or bus stops. The one at the Eastlink Centre has been built for months and months, and yet it's still not open. So, Mr. Lemieux, when you have a chance, do you want to check in on that and get back to us about what we can expect to see there? It's been fenced in for several months, and it looks like it's done.
Yes, Mr. Chair, so we'll certainly look into that. And the numbers for the pool is, Stephanie, 260, is that correct? So 260 is the Aquaterra pool number.
That was pretty close. That's good. All right. No, that wasn't your hand up. Gladys, your hand is still up. It's down now. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you again, Director Lemieux, for that. Love hearing all the talk about transit in the community and on council. Sometimes we do these redesigns and other stuff like that, and council is like shooting fish in a barrel because we don't hear a lot from our customers. The fact that we're hearing lots from our customers hopefully is a good sign and a portent for more use to come. All right, moving right along into reports. I have grant and recommendations as item 3.2, and here to introduce this report is Ms. Katie Bieberdorf.
Good morning. Thank you, Chair Thiessen. The Community Advisory Committee met on August 31st to review Pursuit of Excellence in Arts Development funding applications. We had 2 applications for festivals, 1 for a performance group, and 20 applications for Pursuit of Excellence. Festival funding applications include the Grande Prairie Storm Home Opener, which is taking place this weekend, as well as the annual Round Dance hosted by the Grande Prairie Aboriginal Circle of Services, taking place on November 19th. The application for a performance group was the Boys Choir, and they provide a concert series for the region as well as perform at a number of community events such as Remembrance Day. Pursuit of Excellence applications included coaches, officials, and athletes competing provincially, nationally, and internationally. We had a huge variety of sports this intake. We had swimming, power soccer, which I believe may be the first time we've ever had an applicant for that sport, volleyball, biathlon, freestyle skiing, tennis, and disc golf, which may also be the first time for that sport. So Pursuit of Excellence recommendations total 12,500 and Arts Development total 19,600. And administration is requesting that committee recommend council approve the funding allocations in Appendix A.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bieberdorf. Who said disc golf was a sport? I thought it was just a recreation opportunity to go walk out freely in nature. Just joking. I only did that because Dylan said.
Point of privilege.
I like that. I like that. Out of order, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question, just for my own dressage. What is the dressage? What's this? Okay, yeah. Isn't that equestrian? Okay. All right. Cool. I'm just uncultured. I had to ask. I know that it's all included here, but I was just looking at other stuff at the same time. And any further questions? Because if not, I have a mover. Oh, Miss Councillor Berg? No, Councillor Bosch I already asked, so I'll move it over to Councillor Bosch.
Either one, I guess.
I'm the chair.
Okay, fine. I move committee recommend council approve funding allocations as presented in Appendix A. I'm happy to hear of these new sports and existing sports, as well as the festival funding and things that are going on for our residents in the city. Happy to hear it. So yeah, it's a pleasure to assist even in a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Bosch. A little bit sometimes goes a very long way. So this is actually one of the longest lists I've seen for professional sports development and coaching, training, and all that stuff. So thank you to you and your team, Ms. Bieberdorf, for looking over all these applications and putting forward a great variety of people that we can help in this community to meet their better ends in sports. So thank you so much for that. The motion is in order. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll call it to question.
Mayor Clayton in favor.
And that carries unanimously. Great. Good motion, Councillor Bosch. Moving right along, we're into our outstanding items list, and to that end, I will hand it right back to Director Lemieux for the update.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'd like to speak first to the item 1200, which is the Grande Prairie Curling Center request to look at conversions to make the Grande Prairie Curling Center a year-round facility. So we're still in the process of selecting the consulting firm to help us work through that process. So the bulk of the work on this will be done most likely in October. So I'm going to ask that if we could amend the expected report date to November the 8th, please. And the other two items are on track, and reports will be coming at the next committee meeting.
Thank you very much, Director Lemieux. I will look to Councillor Berg to make the motion here.
Thank you, Chair Thiessen. I would like to move that committee receive the September 13th, 2022 outstanding items list as amended for information.
Thank you very much. That motion is in order, and we will call to question.
Mayor Clayton in favor.
And so it is. Thank you very much, committee members and community services team. This meeting is adjourned.